I'm very happy to have another young Indian with us today. Hello, everyone. Good to be back. Right now, we have with us Sarva Chakrabarti. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Sarva.
First of all, I would like to thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to be featured in your Good Self channel. And so, a brief introduction about myself. Hello, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. My name is Sarva Chakrabarti, and I am a second year student at Jindal School of International Affairs, which is under OP Jindal Global University, Sonipat. And I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's in international relations with a specialization in economics and foreign policy. So, what comes in your mind when I say the word economics and foreign policy combined?
So, wait a second. Are you in Sonipat or where are you?
So, I'm currently in Sonipat in my college.
Okay, good. All right, let's continue.
Yes, sir. Yeah, as I asked, what comes in your mind when you first hear the word economics and foreign policy? Many of you may wonder, okay, what is this new term, economics and foreign policy? Well, you take international trade, global politics, global society, or for example, global business. It all comes under the cluster. And I'm currently pursuing that. The recent example is the 13th WTO Ministerial Conference, which is going to be held in Abu Dhabi next Monday, I guess. So yeah, so let us talk about the topics which are going to be highlighted in the particular, ministerial meeting. So as you know that India is a key important partner, or rather a member of WTO, and all the decisions which are taken by this international organization is very important for us. So let us distribute, or rather divide three key important points which are going to be highlighted, or which are expected to be highlighted by India. The first point is cotton subsidies. So as we all know, cotton is extremely important for globally everyone, for the manufacturing, for production of rubber, or you name it, you got it. Cotton is extremely important. So India is expected to pitch that there should be a particular global, limitation of price for the export and import of cotton, so that it is beneficial for all the buyers and sellers also to get a fair baseline, for buying and selling the particular product. Because we very often see black marketing, overstocking of the particular product. So this is the first important, point which India is expected to highlight in the WTO meeting. Second, well, let us talk about second point. The second point is fishery subsidies. So in my memory, I think in the year 2021, WTO, or I think, I don't remember the name of the country, but I think it's South Africa or Italy, I guess. They had kind of pitched for a particular term called fishery subsidies in the WTO. So what is fishery subsidies? Let us understand that.
Yeah.
So globally, we all know that we all consume fish, and as a Bengali, I love fish. I'll be very honest. So globally, fish consumption is very high in all the countries, be it India or Europe, Greece, or even Japan in Northeast Asia. So what these countries pitch for is that the WTO should ban all the illegal fishery subsidies and all the individuals who are not formally registered with the, fishery industries. And India is expected to oppose this move. The primary reason is that, sir, in India, if you look at the fishery charts, 80% of the fishermen are informal.
Mhm.
So if in WTO this bill is passed that WTO only recognizes the formal fishermen, then it will be very difficult for the Indian fishermen to pitch their products abroad in terms of
Yeah.
exports or global business strategies.
Mhm.
So India will oppose it, and I think we should oppose it because there is no particular tagline for dividing someone formal or informal, especially in a country like India where we have people from all income strata.
Mhm.
The second point. And so, third and the most important point which India will pitch in this WTO meet, which is a WTO reform. Because so we all know that with respect to WTO, WTO is extremely an essential organization in terms of international trade. But so we all know
Mhm.
that currently the world is going more towards bilateral than multilateral. So I'll give you an example. So if you look at the case of India, or any country. So any country in the field of international relations prioritizes national interest first with respect to the international order and the international rules and regulation. So currently this new wave of FTAs, which is free trade agreements, are in boost in the world. India has signed an FTA with the UAE. Then we are ongoing FTA negotiations with the GCC Global Cooperation Council, which consists country like Oman, Saudi Arabia, UAE. We are also having an ongoing FTA negotiations with EU, which is European Union. Then we are having FTA negotiations with UK. And so FTA is very important for any country because it kind of subsidizes the interest and duty rates and tariffs, so that there's global consumption of, global benefit of both the partners. Now, so many people debate that FTAs are not that beneficial. So if you ask my opinion, I would I would neither say yes nor say no. So the current example is the collapse of the UK and Canada FTA. The primary reason was the UK government wanted their market access to in Canada in a more sense. For example, if you all know that in UK the consumption of milk is lot, so the UK government wanted it to export its milk products to Canada, and the Canadian government wanted the same for the beef exports to the UK. And there was a kind of a like battle among both the countries, which is not battle, but like a disagreement between both the countries in terms of
Huh?
duty rates. So at terms, due to the failure of meeting the duty rates requirement, these FTAs collapse. So it's very important, and it's very interesting to see how this WTO ministerial meet go forward.
Okay.
Now, second examples I would like to give you, which is very important,
Okay.
which is Israel-Hamas war, which is happening, and it is impacting globally lot to all the countries. So I'll tell you how it impacts India. So recently, I was reading an article where it was, I think, published by Economic Times and Hindustan Times, which said that the Indian port authorities, there's an association which is Indian Trade Port Authorities. They have issued a statement saying that they won't, facilitate any vessel movement in seaports of India which are Israeli bound or which are carrying Israeli military weapons. Now, so I'll tell you why it's very important for India's perspective. So, if you look at India's foreign policy with respect to our national interest, India has good relations with both the GCC and Israel. For GCC, we have primarily for gold and oil, and for Israel, we primarily have for technology and defense requirements. Now, in a situation where domestically the people of India are divided in this particular aspect of Israel-Hamas war, it is very difficult for the Indian government to formulate the foreign policy matters. So recently, even if you have read the UN Charter or the United Nations Security Council meet, many countries, for example, South Africa, Colombia, Chile, even I guess yeah, even Saudi Arabia, Turkey, they all have kind of not Saudi Arabia, but like Turkey primarily, they have shut their diplomatic ties with Israel, saying that we won't trade with Israel or we won't have any relations after the conflict. So the biggest example is Malaysia. So Malaysia has even said that we won't allow any Israeli-bound vessel in our seaports. Now, so
Hmm.
if you look at both the regions, we have ASEAN, which is Association for Northeast Asian nations, which has Malaysia, Singapore, Laos, Cambodia,
Yeah.
these countries.
Yeah.
And so Singapore and Malaysia, both of these countries play an important role in connecting the transshipment hub. So, for example, if you want to export something to Australia, say the ports in Australia from UK, you have to cross the Indo-Pacific line. You have to cross Middle East, ASEAN, and then you reach Australia. And all the vessels generally halt in Dubai, the port of Jebel Ali in Dubai, and the port of Singapore and Malaysia as a transshipment port. Now, so if Malaysian government is coming forward and they are saying that okay, we will stop all the international relations, or like we won't allow any Israeli ships in the port in our ports, then it will be very difficult for the trade routes, also the international trade order. So recently, an Israeli, which is I think I forgot the name of the Israeli shipping company, Zim. Zim is a shipping line which is very profitable in the shipping market. So Zim has suspended all its operation to Malaysia after this. So even if you look at Brazil, the president of Brazil, Lula, has connected the entire Israel-Hamas war and condemned Israel and said that you're linking the war with the Holocaust which happened in the World War II. Now there is a downgrading relationship between Israel and Brazil after this because Israel has openly asked for an apology. If you look at the Vatican City, the Pope officials of Vatican City has condemned the Israel-Hamas war and condemned Israel primarily. So it's very difficult. It's very difficult for the Middle Eastern, not even Middle East, the entire globe. So another biggest project, which is India Middle East European Trade Corridor (IMEC), which was passed during the G20 meet in September 2023. and it was kind of encountered to the BRI of China, Belt Road Initiative. And so this entire IMEC project was a game changer for India, Middle East, and primarily Europe. And after the Israel-Hamas war, it is now at hold because the entire Middle Eastern region is not stable. Another example, Russia-Ukraine war. Now, sir, again, I won't say anything because I completely support India's stance on it as a student, because the national interest comes first. And so there's a saying in Hindi which is Rashtra Sarupari, which means nation first, no compromise.
Mhm.
Now, sir, if you look at the Russia-Ukraine war, post the Russia-Ukraine war, India has proposed two trade routes. The first, which is IMEC, India, Middle East, European Trade Corridor, which consists the European countries, the Middle Eastern countries, and USA and India. So India is having the trade. If you look at the map of India, IMA goes towards left of the country, and another trade corridor which is India proposing, which is with international north-south trade corridor, which is having India, Iran, Russia. It is towards right. So India is playing its own part with respect to its national interest in the international trade scenario. So it will be very interesting to see how this WTO meet and how the current geopolitical situations play forward. And so as a student of international relations, so I'll just give you my brief of my background. So I had interned in Bombay Chamber of Commerce, where I was interning in the international trade division. So I was interning in the conducting of the B2B delegations of Bombay Chamber of Commerce,
Mhm.
Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. And secondly, I was interning in World Trade Center, Navi Mumbai. So there I was understanding the World Trade Center Association Network's entire framework. And so, yeah, again, this came in my mind after the mentioning of this internship. So we are recently having a World Trade Center Global Business Forum in Bangalore, whereby we will have delegates from all over continents, be it Europe, Asia,
Mhm.
uh, North America, South America. All the WTCs will come. All the delegates from WTC New York, WTC Hong Kong, WTC Dubai, WTC London. Everyone will be in Bangalore in March first week for the Global Business Forum. So it will be very interesting to see the rise of India in this current geopolitical scenario.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
wonderful. All right, you've told us a lot about what you study and what you do. How about something personal?
Sure, sir. So personally, I'm okay. So I'll tell you why I chose international relations, because when I generally in India, if I say I'm studying international relations, people ask, "ये क्या है?" In English, what is this?
Ah,
Why ये क्या पढ़ रहे हो? क्यों पढ़ रहे हो? अब
ah,
engineering, doctor या फिर कुछ क्यों नहीं बन जाते? So primarily as a student, I was very much interested in economics.
ah,
But so my knowledge of economics, I personally wanted to expand it globally. So
mhm,
I wanted to study something which is related to international economics, whereby
mhm.
I wanted to understand international trade, global business strategies, economic diplomacy, whereby I wanted a course which will cover all of this. And so in master's, I'm planning to do international business, my MBA in
Yeah.
international business in my
Okay.
master's. So I thought it will be a good pitch baking. And so also, if I talk about my university, I would say, so I'm proud to be a Jindalite JSIS student, whereby, sir, I'm having faculties from all over the globe. So recently, give you an example, I am having a course this semester which is known as Rise of China. So
Mhm,
it is taught by India's ex-ambassador to China and Egypt,
mhm,
Mr. Sanjay Bhattacharya, sir. He's teaching me a course on China's foreign policy, like how China rules
mhm.
its economy post the Beijing Olympics, post the 2008 US financial crisis, where the
Right.
world started kind of like eyeing on China. And so, secondly, in the previous semester, I had a course known as Introduction to the UN System. So it was taught by ex-ambassador of India to France and ex-ambassador of India to WTO, Dr. Mohan Kumar sir. He was teaching me,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm also planning to write a research paper with him or
Mhm,
under supervision on the matter of WTO. And so
mhm,
another example is that I'm having a course which is more maritime security and trade, which is
mhm.
Europe and Indo-Pacific. It is taught by Dr. Silvia Bottega, ma'am. So Silvia ma'am is an Italian, and she had worked in the UN for around 5 years. And so then another, I attend a class which is known as Diaspora and Diplomacy, which is taught by India's ex-ambassador to the Middle East, to Bahrain, Qatar, Dr. Sanjeev Arora sir. He's I think India's one of the longest serving ambassadors. So he's teaching me this semester. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that's kind of my
Boy,
personal.
so you are uh, really getting the cream of the country to teach you, right?
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
absolutely, sir.
very practical approach. I mean, they are not really professors, but they're very
Yes, sir.
practical people.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. But how did you decide? How did you persuade your parents? What was your decision making in 11th and 12th? How do they feel now? So
Yes, sir.
let's be a
So
bit personal.
sure, sir. Okay. The story happened. So since a kid, I was very much interested in dramatics and dancing. So I still dance. I'm
Hey,
active in
you
the
you
dance.
have a video clip?
No, sir, I don't have deleted all the dancing video clips of mine. It is very old. Actually, I'm a resident of Mumbai, sir. So,
I know.
yes, sir. So, I was a student of Shanak Devar, if you all know, Remo D'Souza. So, I was
Uh-huh.
the student in Bombay. So, I used to attend all the workshops, Bollywood auditions, and as a student, I wanted to be a Bollywood actor. But my
Mm-hmm.
parents were like, नहीं नहीं पहले degree खत्म कर लो और first get a degree or first get a job so that there's something to back off.
Mm-hmm.
Then so my interest went towards mass media. I was thinking of doing mass communication, but so then again I changed my mind because I was like, I am not. I think I'm personally not made for a media personal job because
Mm-hmm.
it requires a lot of communication skills, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of digital marketing skills. So I kind of then thought, okay, this is not my cup of tea. Then so in 11th grade I had commerce. So I was thinking of doing management studies, for example, BCom or BBA. But then
Mm-hmm.
so was the fact that I was very bad at mathematics, and my dad himself was a BCom graduate. So he's like, you better not pursue BCom, you'll fail in your semesters. You better do something else. Then so I was thinking, so randomly in 12th grade, I had given my boards, just my boards. I
Okay,
was
so
thinking,
you were not a science student, right?
no, so I was not a
Okay,
science
so
student.
you were already classified as a loser, right?
Yes, I was already classified as a loser by the society. You're a loser. डॉक्टर इंजीनियर नहीं तो कुछ नहीं. मतलब ओके ठीक है लूजर ही सही मतलब कुछ ना कुछ तो डू इन लाइफ. So after my board, I was scrolling through my website casually, like what should I do my PC. Then so I got to know about this course, which is bachelor's in arts in global affairs. Then I
Mhm.
researched about it. Then I found out that okay, OP Jindal, which is India's one of the top private colleges, it offers this course. Then I contacted the admissions team. Then I spoke with some of the professors, and they got me indulgent into the course, sir. And
Mhm.
then, as I mentioned, that I had an insect. So in Hindi we call kida. I had a kida
Mhm.
of economics in my mind. I want to do something related to economics.
Yeah.
Then this thought of global economics, global politics came to my mind, and then okay, this is my course. I'll go for it.
Mhm.
Then so okay, I'll add that how I convinced my parents. So I remember I think my dad had some important meeting in Dubai and he had came to Bombay. So I just went and I told my dad that I want to do global affairs.
Yeah.
And then the first question he asked me, he's like, "World affairs क्यों पढ़ोगे? वो तो
Mm.
newspaper तुम पढ़ लो."
Mm.
So his first approach was like read newspaper. Why are you doing a course on it? And I had to
Yeah.
explain to him pura ki like sir, this is a course on IR. And then so my parents were very supportive. And then after seeing the university, the faculty level, they were like you should go for it. For bachelor, you
Mm.
should.
Mm.
And then so I'm after 2 years, I'm in my second year, fourth semester. I started in Jindal in September 2022 when I was just 18. So I didn't even know how to tie my shoelaces when I was in 12th. I didn't even know that because I was a very like pampered child in my house. And then so a child coming to Delhi NCR, study here in hostel. Lot of changes, sir, and I'm proud of it, sir. I have no regrets in decision.
Mm. Mhm. Okay, surely sound like you found your calling, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what you want to do. Maybe you will change your mind, who knows? But you, at the moment, you seem like you are doing sailing smoothly, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any tips you have for young people? I mean, I'm always keen to ask seniors to talk to 11th and 12th
Yes, sir.
kids because many of the people told me that at that time I was very confused.
Yes, sir.
So let's hear you on that.
Okay, sir. So the first tip I would like to give each and everyone who are junior to me is that listen to your heart and mind both. Secondly,
What does it mean? Heart
sir,
and
in
mind.
the so okay, let me just elaborate. So
Yeah.
generally, as generally like teenagers, we have this weird fancy that okay, I'll become astronaut, I'll
Hmm.
go to the moon. That's the first as a 10-year-old kid which we have कि हम चांद पे जाएंगे,
Yes.
चांद पर जाएंगे. That is sir, which is heart. Secondly, sir, mind. We have to be practical as students, sir.
Yeah. Hmm.
regarding the job market. So because let's be practical, we have the boom of AI, artificial intelligence. Many people are fearing that it will take up jobs. So I don't know whether it will take up jobs or not. Future will let us know that. So the first thing is listen to your heart and mind both. Be practical about your dreams. Learn to work hard. Learn to be dedicated. If you're choosing a field, for example, if you're choosing, let's say, engineering only, if you're choosing computer science, go for it. So secondly, my respect your parents. Always respect your parents. Always listen to them, because no matter how strict they are, at the end they want our well-being.
Yes.
So my second,
Okay.
and so my third advice is, which is very important for everyone, is that have some hobby within yourself. Because I'm into dancing, I'm into acting. It makes me happy, irrespective of my course and my career. And make sure that I at least dance 1 hour in my room alone when my roommates are not there every week, to just
Hmm.
freshen up my mind. And
Hmm.
so,
What kind
fourthly,
of dance? Can I ask what kind of dance?
sir, I'm into hip hop, Bollywood, and contemporary.
Okay. What is contemporary? I'm too old to know, so tell me.
Sir, contemporary is okay, I don't know how to define it, sir, because I used to dance. I never read theory. I don't know how to define it, so I'll be very honest.
Can you tell me the famous names in it? Maybe I'll see it sometimes.
Not so recently, not famous. Then there, so yeah, Terence Lewis. He is an Indian choreographer, so he's into contemporary. So
Okay.
he has choreographed for movies like Lagan and many other movies.
Hey, Lagan was a great movie.
Yes, sir. It was actually phenomenal, especially the last scene when he hit the speed, like kind of hits the
You
six
know,
and
let me tell you a story about Lagan. My
yes, sir.
daughter, at about your little older than you at this time, she went to a village in Latin America to
Yes,
help out with things. She took her laptop and she took a DVD of Lagan.
yes,
Now,
sir.
those people don't know English also. They speak Spanish and they
Spanish.
don't know
Yes.
Hindi. But she showed them, they wanted to see Lagan every night on the
Yes,
laptop screen because the story is so simple and so clear
yes,
that
sir.
they saw Lagan 3 or 4 nights.
So that
There are
also
different
describes
people.
India's soft power in international relations.
Yeah, yeah, it is India's soft power. There is no question about it. Anyway, good. So,
Yes, sir.
anything else you want to add
Yes,
here?
sir. Yes, sir. Last
Yeah,
point which I would like to add is that, sir, which is very, I think it's the most important point for every junior who are kind of stressed with their board exams, their entrance exam, or even who are bachelors who are stressed
yeah.
about masters. So my only advice to them is that it's fine. It's fine to take a break, fine to take time off to think what you're interested in. And so irrespective of our degrees which we do, it won't impact much in future. So you may know in India, there are a lot of engineers who later on go and become actors or artists or any other field. So even so, I don't know. I'm doing international relations. I may shift my field in future. So irrespective of what subjects you study in your graduation, in your school, in your masters, so at that time it feels so that it will impact our life. Or so sometimes we feel na, so ki, I have taken a wrong subject in my graduation
Yeah,
or 11
yeah, yeah,
12. It will
yeah.
destroy my life. I can't do anything in my life. I'm a loser. So the only message is like, it's fine.
Okay.
No, you're not a loser. Trust me. Trust me, you're
All
not a
right.
loser. It won't
All
impact
right.
much in your life. Just go with the flow, follow your passion, heart, mind, and you will make it. Trust
Okay.
and trust in God. Trust in God, trust in yourself. You will make it.
All right.
Everyone has.
I'm very happy to hear such a optimistic message from a young guy. What do you think about India's future, if I may ask?
So India, yes, sir. This is actually a very good question. So if you look at India's economy, it is growing. But so my only concern is that in terms of GDP, so we are growing. But so if you look at the public policy rates, whereby if you look at the income disparity, it is a lot in India, because so the wealth, or rather the maximum amount of wealth in India which we have, it's actually limited to the particular income group in India. Only the high middle class people. So that's a concern which I think India should resolve. And so my second concern, I would like link it to economics, because I think previous week I was reading the capability approach of Dr. Amartya Sen in economics, whereby he defines that the economy of a country it only can't be defined by the monetary value. There are other factors such as happiness, self-esteem, So I don't know if you know or not, but during my 11th, I would also link it with my 11th grade where I learned about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So it quantifies the needs. So the first, self-esteem; second, we have food, shelter, and whatnot; and third, so that's my concern that India also needs to focus on mental health, because a lot of students currently are going through depression because of the unemployment rate and all. So that is concerning. And so third point is India will grow. I have
Mhm.
faith in it. India's economy will grow, and we will surely achieve the growth rate in future if we invest in health and education. No one can stop us.
Okay, good. All right, let's end it here today. I
Yes,
think you are ready to end it here today. And
yes.
I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. But let's say bye. And maybe we'll catch up with you in a year to see how you are feeling at that time. All right. Okay. So let's say bye bye, everybody.